The hardest part of your workout isn't lifting the weight. It's walking into the gym. Every productive morning begins not with the first task, but with the decision to ignore the snooze button. Great writers don't struggle with writing, they struggle with sitting down to write. These patterns reveal a strange truth about human freedom. The times when you feel most trapped often stem not from too much structure, but from too little. Most people misunderstand discipline. They see it as a prison that constrains their true desires. If only I had complete freedom, they think, I could finally be happy. Yet when people gain that unrestricted freedom, a day with nothing scheduled, a job with no deadlines, relationships with no commitments, they often find themselves paralyzed, anxious, or oddly unfulfilled. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, calls this the paradox of choice. When you face unlimited options, decision fatigue sets in. Your mind exhausts itself weighing possibilities rather than taking action. Think about the last time you had a completely open weekend. Did you accomplish all those things you claimed you'd do, if only you had time? Or did you spend hours scrolling, napping, and wondering where the time went? The truth about freedom hides in plain sight. Real liberation comes through structure, not from its absence. Navy SEALs follow strict morning routines. Professional athletes maintain rigid training schedules. Successful artists work within consistent creative windows. Their results don't come despite these constraints, they come because of them. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The boundaries we establish don't limit our potential, they focus it. Your brain craves certainty. When you create systems and routines, you eliminate the mental taxation of constant decision-making. This frees cognitive resources for deeper work, creativity, and presence. Consider the musician who practices scales for years. Those repetitive constraints don't diminish their creativity, they build the foundation that makes improvisation possible. The discipline creates the freedom. Yet our culture sells us the opposite message. We're told that rules, schedules, and commitments are obstacles to our authentic selves. This mindset leaves many people bouncing between bursts of motivation and extended periods of drift. The ancient Stoics understood this dynamic. Seneca wrote that, "The willing, fate leads, the reluctant, it drags." By accepting necessary constraints, we gain agency over how we navigate them. Your phone offers a perfect example of this principle. With no boundaries, it becomes a source of distraction and anxiety. But with intentional limits, specific times for checking messages, apps removed, notifications silenced, it transforms into a tool that serves your deeper goals. These principles apply beyond productivity. Committed relationships thrive not when partners maintain complete independence, but when they establish shared values and expectations. The boundaries create safety for vulnerability and growth. In his book, The Paradox of Choice, psychologist Barry Schwartz reveals that people report greater satisfaction when choosing from limited options rather than endless alternatives. The constraints don't diminish happiness, they enable it. The gym provides perhaps the clearest illustration. Physical freedom, the ability to move, explore, and engage with your world, requires the discipline of regular exercise. The constraint of scheduled workouts creates the freedom of a capable body. Children demonstrate this principle naturally. They thrive with consistent bedtimes, clear expectations, and structured days. Rather than feeling oppressed by these boundaries, they gain the security to play, learn, and develop. Novelist Somerset Maugham captured this when asked if he wrote on a schedule or only when inspired. "I write only when inspiration strikes," he replied. "Fortunately, it strikes every morning at 9 o'clock sharp." The most creative minds don't wait for perfect conditions. They create structures that make their work inevitable. This doesn't mean filling every minute with rigid plans. Effective structure includes space for rest, reflection, and spontaneity. The key lies in designing these elements intentionally rather than leaving them to chance. The ancient Greeks called this concept eunomia, good order that creates true freedom. Not the shallow freedom of endless options, but the deeper freedom of purposeful living. Next time you feel stuck, resist the urge to eliminate all constraints. Instead, ask what structures might create the conditions for success. Set specific work hours. Establish a morning routine. Create environmental cues that trigger desired behaviors. Your future self won't thank you for unlimited options. They'll thank you for the structures that made meaningful progress possible. The poet Rilke wrote, "I want to unfold. I don't want to stay folded anywhere, because where I am folded, there I am a lie." True unfolding, true freedom, requires the trellis of discipline to support your growth. Build that structure. Watch yourself bloom.